Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see class 11, chapter number 18, body fluid and circulation. We have already finished blood and lymph, coagulation of blood. Now today's topic is circulatory pathway. Let us start. As we know, blood and lymph are the important fluid in the body that act as a carrier in transporting nutrients, hormones, and various other material even to the farthest tissue in the body. Now the question arises, what makes this blood to circulate inside the body? And answer to this question is lies in the fact that to circulate this blood throughout the body, a muscular pump is required, which is known as heart. Depending upon the circulatory pattern in higher organism, the circulatory system is of two types. One is called as open circulatory system, another one is called as closed circulatory system. Let us see what is open. In open circulatory system, blood pumped by heart is passed through a vessel into the space or body cavity known as sinuses. From there, the blood is collected by large veins which open into heart. In this type of system, the blood does not contain the respiratory pigment and if present, it dissolves in plasma. This type of system is found in arthropodas and molluscas. There is no capillary system. In this type of circulatory system, blood pumps by the heart is always circulated inside the vessel. From the evolutionary point of view, this pattern is considered to be the most advantageous as it supplies blood to the deepest tissue of the body. It is found in annelids and chordates. Now let us start with human circulatory system. So before starting with human circulatory system, all the vertebrates possess muscular chamber heart. In some animal, hearts are two chambered, that is one atria and one ventricle. And other animals, in some animal, hearts are three chambered, such as amphibians and reptiles. And in human and birds, mammals, the heart is four chambered. So let us start with human circulatory system. This is the structure of heart. Heart is mesodermally derived organ situated in the thoracic cavity in between two lungs. It appears to be slightly tilted towards the left side. It is a hollow fibromuscular organ, slightly conical in shape of about 12 cm length and 9 cm breadth. The upper broad part is the base and the lower part is known as apex. It has a size of fist. So you can see where is apex and which part is called as base. Here it is apex. Now let us talk about its protective covering. The heart is protected by double membrane or a bag called pericardium. The fluid present between the two membranes is called as pericardial fluid. This fluid helps in keeping the surface of the heart moist and also protect it from shock and mechanical injury. Let us see the external structure now. Externally, heart is composed of four chambers. Two relatively smaller chambers called auricle. Auricles are present in upper side. You can see in the diagram. And two larger lower chamber called ventricle. These are the ventricle. The right ventricle is slightly larger than the left atrium because these atria are meant to receive blood from different body parts. Let us talk about the internal structure. Internally, heart, there are two auricles and two ventricles separated by a septa. This is the septa. Let us talk about auricle first. These are the upper two thin-walled and smaller chamber. They serve to receive the blood, therefore are called receiving chamber. Both right and left atria are separated by thin muscular wall called intraatrial septum. So auricle and auricle are separated by a wall which is called as intraatrial septum. Right chamber deals with only impure, that is deoxygenated blood, and left chamber deals with pure, that is oxygenated blood. Now let's talk about ventricle. These are the two chambers of the heart that pumps the blood away from the heart. This functioning as opening chamber, both right and left ventricle are separated by interventricular septum. So a wall is present over here, interventricular septum, through which they are separated. Left ventricle receives the pure blood and whereas right ventricle receives the impure blood. Let us talk about the walls. Different walls are present in the heart. tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve, and semilunar valve. Tricuspid valve is a three muscular flap or cups to guard the opening between the right atrium and ventricle. So this right atrium and ventricle, there is an opening which is called as tricuspid valve. Bicuspid valve you can see over here in left atrium and left ventricle, and there is a semilunar valve. The opening of right and left ventricle into pulmonary artery and aorta respectively are provided with semilunar valve. Now let us talk about the conduction. The heart is made up of cardiac muscle. The ventricular walls are thinner than that of atrial walls. The rhythm of the heart is maintained by slightly specified cardiac musculature called nodal tissues distributed evenly in the heart. The first one that we are talking about, the sinoatrial node, that is SAN. The SA node is small flattened patch of specialized tissue present in the right upper corner of the right atrium. The impulse generated by this node spreads in all direction of the heart, that is goes both auricle and causes the relaxation and contraction. The next is arterioventricular node, AVN. The signal which arises from SA node becomes weakened when they reach ventricle because ventricles are far away from SA nodes. Thus, to strengthen these signals, another mass of tissue is seen in the lower left corner of the atrium, close to the arterioventricular septum, somewhere here, close to the atrioventricular septum, known as AV nodes. This is also called as pace setters. Now let us talk about cardiac cycles. The heart pumps the blood to all the part of the body. The changes takes place in heart during one heartbeat together constitute one cardiac cycle. The heartbeat at average rate of 72 times per minute. Thus, the total duration of cardiac cycle is 0.8 seconds. During a heartbeat, the contraction and relaxation of atria and ventricle takes place. The phase of contraction is known as systole, while the relaxation phase is called as diastole. Thus, a single heartbeat consists of systole and diastole of both the atria and ventricle. To begin with the cardiac cycle, all the four chambers of heart are in relaxed state. They are joined in diastole, during which the blood flows from the superior and inferior vena cava into atria and from where to respective ventricles through auricular ventricular valves. The complete cardiac cycle comprises of these events: atrial systole, ventricular systole, atrial diastole, and ventricular diastole. Now let us talk about ECG, electrocardiograph. It is a graphical representation of electrical activity of heart during a single cardiac cycle. The cardiogram is obtained by a machine known as electrocardiograph. The study of this process of recording cardiograph is called as cardiography. The impulse generated by SA nodes causes contraction and relaxation of heart chamber. To obtain a ECG, a patient is connected to a machine with 3 electrical leads, one to each wrist and one to the left ankle, monitoring the activity of heart continuously, and heart functioning is evaluated by attaching multiple leads to the chest region. Reading on ECG. An ECG consists of 5 peaks identical with the letter P to T that correspond to the specific electrical conductivity of the heart. These correspond to the specific electric conductivity of the heart as follows. P wave. So here you can see P to T. Now P. It is the first and the foremost wave of low amplitude. It represents the electrical excitation which leads to the contraction of both the atria. Then QRS. The QRS wave together form QRS complex. This represents the depolarization of ventricle which initiates the ventricular contraction. Then T. It is broad and smoothly rounded deflection which represents the return of ventricle from the excited to normal state. Now what is the significance? It gives accurate information about the normal functioning of atria and ventricle. It indicates the functioning of valve. It also helps and indicate any damage to the local tissues of heart in dissection of overgrowth of cardiac or heart chamber. Now let us talk about double circulation. You can see the diagram of double circulation. The mammalian heart is four-chambered, undergoing the process of complete separate double circulation. This means that the blood passes twice through the heart to supply the blood for burns to the body. This transmission is necessary and helps in oxygenation of blood. The following process continued the double circulation, pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Pulmonary circulation means the blood completed circulation from right ventricle to the left atria to the lungs. Here the deoxygenated blood pumped by the right ventricle enters the pulmonary artery, while the left ventricle pumps the blood into aorta. The deoxygenated blood is passed on to the lungs, from where the deoxygenated blood is carried out by pulmonary veins into left atrium of heart. What is systemic circulation? In this system, the pure blood is supplied to all parts of the body during the transport of oxygenated blood entering aorta. Here you can see, entering aorta is carried by the network of arteries, arterioles and capillaries to the tissue, from where the deoxygenated blood is collected by the system of venulus, veins and vena cava, thus emptying it into right atrium. This system provides essential nutrient O2 and other essential substances to all the tissues of the body, and eventually takes away CO2 and other harmful substances away from the tissue for the elimination from the body. Now let us talk about circulation of cardiac activity. The normal activity of heart are intrinsically regulated, that is auto-regulated by specialized muscle. Thus heart is known as myogenic heart. The neurogenic heartbeat is initiated by nerve impulse, that is in annelida and orthopoda. The rate of its information and conduction is regulated by neural regulation, hormonal regulation. Now let us talk about the disorders. The disorder of heart leads to hypertension, that is high blood pressure, coronary artery disease, which means it is the hardening of arteries and arteriole due to the thickening of fibrous tissues and the consequent loss of elasticity. Then heart failure, angina also. What is angina? Oxygen did not reach the heart muscle. It occurs both in men and women of any age, but seems to be more common among the middle-aged and elderly individual. And symptom of acute chest pain occurs in individual suffering from angina. Heart failure, it is the condition of heart when it fails to pump blood. So these are what? These are all disorders of heart. In the next video, we are going to start with the next chapter, that is excretory product and their elimination. Thank you.